Van D, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van D.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Van D podcast. You know, every time I say Van D, I think about when I was in high school. When I say my own name, I think about this. I was in high school, and it was the first day of world history of this class I took, and the teacher said, he was doing roll call, and he goes, Van D, and I raised my hand, and he goes, what's your first name? And I looked at him, and I just made one up, and I said, Bruce. So the entire semester, my teacher called me Bruce. All my friends would laugh when he'd call my name, but he got back at me by giving me a wonderful F in the class, and I had to take it over. Okay, so I got that out of the way. So welcome, everybody, to the Van D podcast. I am here today with the world-renowned, extra super cool Cam Broham. Cam, thanks for doing this.
I was wondering who you were talking about there. I was like, there's nobody else in this room.
I'm trying to come up with words. Our version of Steven Spielberg.
Glad to be here, Van. Thank you for having me.
Right on. Okay, guys, today I'm pretty excited because I love when I have podcasts that talks about how I live and what I really believe in. So my podcast today is talking about how do we add value? You know, a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, today I'm going to add value in somebody's life. But I want to tell you the benefits. We're going to cover some things talking about how we can be a person that adds value. So first of all, I want to ask you, are you a person who is always looking for ways to add value in the work you do? Or maybe you're just satisfied by showing up every day and fulfill your basic responsibilities of your role. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. However, people listening to my podcast are people that want to get better and make their lives better. So obviously, to us, we want to be more than just doing our basic responsibilities. Bringing added value means not only doing what is expected of you, but also going above and beyond. So you want your supervisor, your manager, if you have a team leader, your company owner, to see you as someone who adds value to the company. You want them to describe you saying, you know, John is a great worker for this firm. He adds a lot of value. To me, adding value is what separates the great people in every occupation from those who are merely just good. So I like what Robin Sharma says about adding value. Leadership is not about an executive position or title. It is about connection and influence. At its highest, leadership is all about adding value to the world and blessing lives through the work you do. Doesn't that say it all? So I hope you can listen to this again and again and again, because I'm telling you something. When you make it your mission to add value, everything is better. Everything is better. Let me give you an example of how I add value as a motivational speaker. So when a company hires me to come speak, if it's not for them, maybe they're hiring me to speak to their customers. So let's use an example. I'm going to give you an exact example. I had a title company out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, hire me to come speak to their clients, which was 250 realtors, to give them one of my presentations. They say, Van, we want to bring in. My presentation will be from 8 in the morning until 10 on a Thursday morning. I was all excited about it. And then what I said to the person that hired me, I said, let me tell you what I would like to do to add value to this. I will come in the day before, and you said you had 30 people that work for your title company? Yep, we have 30 people. Let me come in and do a presentation for your company the day before and get them motivated and come up with a presentation that will benefit them. And the guy that hired me was all excited. He goes, hey, that's a great idea. What is that going to cost me? And I said, it's part of my program. I want to be a person that adds value. So I used that as just an extra without having to charge extra. So I don't want to wait for somebody to say to me, hey, can you do a little more for us than we've hired you to do? I want to be the one to say, I'm so grateful you hired me to come speak to your company. What else can I do for you to add value? So there was a company I'll give you another example, in Boise, Idaho. A mortgage company brought me in. Matter of fact, they brought me in once a year for 3 years, and they'd get like 400 real estate agents together because that's their clients. So one of the ways I added value, I said, do you have favorite real estate agents in Boise, Idaho that you would like me to come in the day before and do like a free coaching session for them? And they were thrilled to death. It made them look like, they were the best mortgage company around because it was them that was paying for this. So anyway, that's just an example. I know that you can come up with examples of how you can add value to what you do every day. Now, not everybody's going to take you up on your ideas to add value, but the fact that you said you were willing to do it and go above and beyond what your job description is going to separate you from the pack. So ask yourself this question. What can you do in your workplace to add value? Maybe one thing, and I'm sure, like you always hear me say, get a pen and a pad and write down, how can I add value at work? It wouldn't hurt to also put, how can I add value in my personal life? Start writing these things down. Watch what happens when you start thinking about this and bring this into your universe of how you want to add value. So you go to your superior at your workplace. You ask this person, how can I help with people here in the company? Is there anybody that's struggling that might be able to use a little bit of extra help? That's adding value by offering to help other people in your company that could use a little bit of a boost. Maybe you find that adding value is coming to work a little early every morning so you can get more done. So my whole point is, if you want to have a higher profile in your company, then add more value for them. So listen to this. This is something I really like what John Maxwell has to say about adding value. If you're not doing something with your life, then it doesn't matter how long you live. If you're doing something with your life, then it doesn't matter how short your life may be. A life is not measured by years lived, but by its usefulness. If you are a giving, loving, serving, helping, and encouraging person and adding value to others, then you're living a life that counts. Don't we all want to live a life that counts? Intentional living. Now listen to this. Intentional living is the bridge to significance. At the end of every year, I take time out to reflect and evaluate the events of the previous year, what went well and what needed improvement. From that inventory, I lay out my next year, how I intend to live, make the best use of my time, and maximize adding value to others. Now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Success asks, how can I add value to myself? Significance asks, how can I add value to others? It is your intention that lends itself to significance. I just love that because it's so true. And here's the thing. When I bring up any of my topics, I've experienced it, I've lived it, and I know for a fact that you have the ability to also. We all have the ability to change. We can make changes today and implement them tomorrow. So in my real estate business, most of you know I have 2 full-time careers. I'm a motivational speaker and I'm addicted to selling real estate. So in my real estate business, I'm constantly trying to find ways to add value for my sellers and for my buyers. So one of the things that you may think, well, that's not really that big of a deal, but it is maybe adding value is by me telling my customers that I'm available for them 24/7. Just letting them know that I am available for them. I don't want my real estate clients to have a question or a concern at 9 o'clock at night and they're not going to be able to sleep. I'd rather have them call me and let them ask me what the question is or what's bothering them or whatever it might be, so I can accommodate them, answer their question, and rest their mind. So it all goes back to me say, I don't want to settle for just doing the bare minimum when I know in my heart and my mind that I can do much more that will benefit my clients. I refuse to be labeled average at anything when I know I'm better than average. I know that you're above average too, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be taking the time to listen to the podcast that we're listening to right now. I believe God made all of us equal, and we can choose to be above average and to add value, or we can just choose to go through each day just doing the basic needs and necessity. I am extremely confident that God gave us all this ability to go above and beyond. Think about how your life would change if you started looking for opportunities to add value, not only in your life, but in other people's life. And I want to tell you something. This is how I think. I picture me getting to heaven, and I pray to God that's where I'm headed. I picture me getting to heaven, and I picture me saying to God, thank you for the abilities and the talent you gave me when I was living on earth, and I'm grateful for all of the things that you gave me. However, I'm sorry I only used 60% of what you gave me. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to get to heaven knowing I had more in me, that I could have added a lot more value to my life. I could have worked harder. I could have treated people better. I could have treated people like they matter. This is how I think. Why wait? That's why you see when you guys read my newsletters, I always say at the end, if not now, then when? And if not you, then who? You really got to think about that. So when we're talking about adding value to others, like I said earlier, it means to be intentional about serving others. It's all about leaving others better than they were when you found them. And I say that all the time. Like when I go to churches, I want to leave that church service better than they found me. I want to leave that service knowing that I learned something new that I can implement in my life. It's about enriching and enhancing the quality of life for others. And I want to tell you, when you add value to others, it's going to benefit your life incredibly. Now, you know that adding value can be as simple as when you walk by somebody and smiling at them. It doesn't have to be words. It doesn't have to be a thing or something concrete. It can be a smile if you want to add value to other people. If you make it your discipline, and John Maxwell talks about this, if you make it your discipline to do a little bit of growing every day, in just a few years, you will be amazed by your transformation. I want to tell you something. Every time I've taken something that I want to change about myself or that I want to get better at, it starts out as a discipline. Just like when you say you're going to brush your teeth in the mornings and at night before your bed, go to bed. It starts out as a discipline, whatever you're trying to change. Then it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit to brush your teeth in the morning and at night. It becomes a habit to do what you're trying to do to change, to add more value. And then it becomes natural. So a discipline will become a habit, and that habit will become natural. Well, they just automatically do it. When you become a person that is constantly thinking about how you can add value to your clients, your company, your superiors, your family, your kids, your spouse, everything gets better. I want to tell you something too. So I'm a big fan of people that want to add value. So I'm giving a presentation to a large group of real estate agents in Phoenix, Arizona. And one of the, just like most my presentations, at the end, I sign books and talk to people and sign people up if they want me to coach them. Well, this person said, I want to be a rock star real estate agent, and I want you to coach me. And I was like, great, give me your number, da-da-da. So the next day I called her. Her voicemail, I'm just telling you, because I think about there's no value to anybody with what I'm about to tell you. I call this person up, and her voicemail says, thank you for calling, da-da-da. If this is after 5, I will call you back the next business day between 9 and 11. Thank you for calling. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is a gal that says that she wants to be a rock star real estate agent. And of course, real estate agents help people with the biggest investment of most people's lives, buying or selling a home. But she's saying in her voicemail, I'll only talk to you between 9 and 11 the next business day. How much value does that add? It takes away a ton. That's just the opposite of what I preach. So she called me back, and she goes, yeah, I got your voicemail, da-da, and I said this to her because I'm kind of a smart ass once in a while to get my point across. And I said, you know what? I totally misunderstood you. I said, I thought you told me that you wanted to be a rock star real estate agent. I'm sorry if I was mistaken. She goes, why? What are you talking about? And I said, your voicemail says that if this is after 5, that I'm not going to hear from you till to the next business day between 9 and 11. I go, where did you get that at? Well, my broker told me. I said, has your broker ever sold real estate? I don't think so. Okay, well, there you go. It's a bummer. I was really bummed out because so many people are listening to people that have never been there and done that. Wrong. Do not take advice from people that have not been in the trenches and have been there and done that, which is why I like to talk about my coaching. When I consider myself a confidence coach, I help people get the confidence to be successful. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been there. I started out with $500 in my pocket. I ate ramen noodles or whatever was free at happy hours back in the day. I've been there and done that. I've been to the mountaintop. Listen to people that have been there and done that, or how are you going to get there? How are you going to get to where you want to be? So immediately I told her, no disrespect to your broker, but get rid of that voicemail because you're adding no value, okay? So I won't keep going on and on and on about that, but man alive, I could go do a whole podcast on what not to do to make people feel like they're not valued. So I want to give you some tips on adding value, just some things to think about. Can I give you 1,000 tips on adding value? Absolutely, but I'm not going to because Cam's looking at me and says, he ain't hanging out with me that long today. And I tell you what, if you knew Cam, you'd want to hang out with him because he's a cool cat. So some of the things that help you add value, believe it or not, and all these things are free. All these things. You don't have to go spend a dime. Have a great smile. Smiling makes people around you relax and feel at ease. But the cool thing is when you smile, it relaxes you. Don't wait until after 5 and you have an edible. Smile all day. Cam's over here laughing. It doesn't cost you a dime to smile. Another thing to add value, be positive. The more positive you are, the more attractive you are. Have you ever described someone as attractive that has a rotten attitude? No. Your body language will tell you if you're adding value. Make sure your body language is showing that you're a positive person. Your tone to someone can show enthusiasm, and that adds value. Instead of just saying, Nancy, I'm real proud of you for winning that award. Have a nice day. Why not add a little enthusiasm? Hey, Nancy, way to go. I know that's a hard thing to accomplish. Way to win that award. I'm super proud of you. Little things like this. So when we are providing value, we are demonstrating our worth. Think about that. When you're showing value, when you're adding value to others, you are demonstrating your worth. Just remember that when you are doing this, everybody benefits. There is one thing you can do that will increase your effectiveness and leadership capacity. And like I've said, it's something everyone can and should consistently do. The one thing that we've been talking about is try to find ways to add value to other people. Adding value simply means you are intentional about serving and using your authority in a positive way. And I want to tell you something. I have found people won't respect or value your leadership unless they know you care and value them. I want to give you just a quick little 4 ways that you can show people that you can add value. This was a gentleman named Dan Black put this together, and I really like it. One is lift people up with your words. You should speak kind, encouraging, and uplifting words to those you talk with. Most people struggle to some extent with low self-esteem. You know people that struggle with self-esteem. Your words have the power to raise a person to an extremely and entirely new level of confidence, self-worth, and it can also help them see how great they are. The key is to use specific and timely words. Make it a goal in every conversation to compliment, encourage, and speak positivity. It might be complimenting the person's attire, pointing out and praising their areas of strengths or what they excel at doing, or speaking an encouraging word to them. When you see someone doing superb work or putting in the extra effort, take the time to thank them and to show your appreciation to them. And then support people by offering to help them. You know, there's many ways that you can show people that you have the ability and sincere mission to try to help them in what they're doing. It doesn't hurt to say, what can I do for you? What you're doing is, it shows that you care. Maybe little statements like, do you need me to help out with anything, or can I take something off your plate? Anything I can do to help you, with their career, with their life, it just adds value. Another thing that people show they add value is doing nice things for people. Maybe you're bringing somebody a gift to show value. When you do something nice for others, I know somebody that grows tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, and they sack up fresh tomatoes and they bring them to their coworkers. She didn't have to do that, but it adds value. It shows people you care and appreciate them. Think of something that you can learn about people that you know and care about, and maybe something you can do nice for them or you can bring them. One of my favorite things to add value is to encourage other people's professional growth. You can encourage people by investing your words and what you feel that will help them in their professional growth and development. You should inspire and encourage the people you lead if you're a manager. You should inspire people that you work with. We all have the ability to inspire and encourage people. And you know what we're doing? If we make it our mission to try to add value by inspiring people and by encouraging them, we are actually empowering them. And you know, for you supervisors, managers, and leaders out there, let me tell you something. It's not just the employees and the people that work for you that should be finding ways to add value. You, as the manager, business owner, supervisor, team leader, you should be finding ways to add value to people that are with you or on your team or that work for you. You know one way to do it? I'm telling you, if you can get out of your comfort zone, Go to your key people that work in your firm or that work for you and say, can you think of ways that I can add value to all of you over and above what I'm doing? Watch what kind of dialogue that opens up. And when it opens up that kind of dialogue, everybody benefits. Everybody benefits when everybody's on the same page from the top down. Everything starts at the top. If they want to add value, everybody else, it's going to continue down the line and it becomes contagious. So, like I say, adding value can change your life and it can change other people's lives and help them move toward their potential. We have this ability. You don't have to go out and take a class. You don't have to go out and buy certain products or services. You can just make a decision. I want to be a person to add value. So now I'm going to tell you how I'm going to add value to you. I would love it if you invited me to speak to your company. I've got this cool program called Lunch and Learns that I come into your office. There's no disrupting of your business day. I come in over your lunch hour. You guys have your lunch in front of you. I'm picking a topic or you're picking a topic that's going to benefit you guys, and everybody wins, and it's a lot of fun. It helps with growth. It helps with more gelling at the workplace. I have got a lot of great presentations that you guys will love. It's my Lunch and Learns, and you can get to me by going to vandeep.com. You can call me. You can email me at van@vandeep.com. I would love to come speak to your company, Lunch and Learns, big company events, whatever it is. Mostly, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love it if you subscribe to these podcasts, because this way, every month when they come out, you're going to get them right at your inbox. So please subscribe to these podcasts. And remember something, if you want to add value to other people's life and to your own, when do you plan on doing that? If not now, then when? Seriously. This is something we can change somebody else's life and our own starting right now. Hey, I'm super grateful you tuned in today, and please stay aware of the podcast that will be coming out, and they're all about you. So thanks for listening to the Van D Podcast.
A Hurrdat Media Production.